Hey everybody, today I want to read you a story. And this is a story all about prayer. It's about a really cool guy named Honey. And this book is called The Circle Maker by Batterson. Let's see what it has to say. I think you're going to really like the pictures. It had not rained in Israel for one entire year. No clouds in the sky, no water in the wells, gardens didn't grow, and rivers ran dry. Can you imagine how dusty it must have been? Dust filled the air. The people were thirsty and scared. They pleaded with one voice, "Oh God, give us rain!" But when God didn't answer right away, they lost faith. "Our prayers aren't working," the people said. "God has forgotten us." Then they remembered something. They remembered someone. Who did they remember, I wonder? The Rainmaker. Over the years, the people had heard stories of a man whose prayers had gone straight to God's heart, opening up the heavens with rain. The Rainmaker seems to have a connection with God. Honey was now an old man living on the outskirts of Jerusalem. The people knew that he was their last hope, their only hope. So they knocked on his door, and the Rainmaker emerged. Honey believed that even if the people couldn't hear God, God could still hear them. Then he boldly declared, "The same God who made the thunder will make it clap. The same God who made the clouds will make them rain." I wonder if he's right. I wonder if God's going to make it rain. A parade of people led Honey into the city to the Temple Mount. As the crowd grew, the children climbed onto the shoulders of their fathers. Others stood on tiptoe to see what Honey would do. That's when it happened. Honey bowed his head and extended his staff to the ground. What's he doing? The people wondered. Then Honey began to turn. He turned all the way around until he stood inside the circle that he had drawn. Then, with the hope of the entire nation on his shoulders, Honey dropped to his knees and prayed. "Sovereign Lord, I swear before your great name that I will not leave this circle until you send rain." Like water from a well, the words flowed from the depths of his soul. The people watched and waited. I wonder what happened. Then it happened. A single raindrop fell from the sky, then another. The people turned their heads heavenward. "That's not enough water," they grumbled. "So little rain is of no use to us." Still kneeling within the circle, Honey continued to pray to God with a humble heart. "Not for such rain have I prayed, but for a rain that will fill cisterns and pits and caverns." Lightning flashed, and there was a loud clap of thunder. The sprinkle turned into such a downpour that the crowd feared for their lives and fled to higher ground to escape the flash floods. But Honey battled the storm on his knees and continued praying within his circle. "Not for such rains have I prayed, but for the rain of your favor, blessing and graciousness." Then, like a cool shower on a hot summer's day, it began to rain calmly and peacefully. The people gathered together in celebration. They had witnessed a miracle. Parents opened their mouths to catch the falling raindrops, and children danced in the downpour like it was the first rainfall they had ever seen. Laughter filled the air. It was the day thunderclaps applauded God. It was the day that puddle jumping became an act of praise. It was the day the legend of the Circle Maker was born. The Rainmaker would forever be known as Honey the Circle Maker. The Circle Maker had taught the people the power of prayer. The people now understood that one prayer can change anything. One prayer can change everything. From that day forth, when the people needed a miracle, they would draw a circle and pray just like Honey did. They would circle the sick. They would circle the sad. They would circle the young. They would circle the old, they would circle their biggest dreams, and they circled their greatest fears. And most importantly, they circled the promises of God. Sometimes they had to pray for a long time, but they never again doubted the fact that God always hears. And if our prayers glorify God, God always answers. Everyone who witnessed the miracle that day learned a lesson they would never forget. God honors bold prayers because bold prayers honors God. Well, thanks for listening today, and don't forget, be like Honey and pray, pray, pray.